Welcome to what I'm going to call episode 1 of For Sits and Gigs, or the Sits portion of For Sits and Gigs. Today with me I have Zara Jarvis of Zara Jarvis Music and Soundcheck Studios.
Hello, thanks for having me.
This is exciting.
I know, I'm so excited.
I'm pumped. This is great. And there's a reason I wanted you to be the first guest as well, and that's mainly because A, you've been super productive during this period, like more than anyone, and B, you're always excited to talk about the new studio and any announcements you've got. So
yes.
I figured
it's been a busy
you'd
time.
Want to be here.
Yes, I'm all for it.
Speaking of everything and revolving around the studio, obviously the main thing that you cover is your vocal lessons. You're a vocal teacher.
Yes.
My teacher, if anyone didn't know, yes, she's my teacher. She's a harsh critic. No.
Now you make it easy.
How long have you been teaching for?
So this is my 5th year teaching, and yeah, I love it. It's what I was born to do. I think growing up I was always like, I want to be a famous singer, and then I kind of just fell into teaching, and now I'm like, no, this is for me. So I can't see myself ever doing anything else.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're branching out and trying to collectively make this.
Oh, 100%. There's so many different things that come off it, definitely. But I can't see myself ever pursuing a different career choice or anything like that.
How has it been with the vocal lessons adapting to online with everything going on?
It's been, there's been challenges and there's been some really awesome pros as well. I found that my students are a lot more independent since moving online. They don't expect me to spoon feed them everything anymore. They kind of have to figure out things on their own, which has been really good. But there's internet problems, as you know. There's a lot of issues with that as well. I think there's been good things and bad things, but I really wasn't expecting it to be as popular as it is. I think people are just bored. So it's been kind of good.
So obviously, like you said, there's the challenges with internet connection and stuff like that. Has it also been harder to, I suppose, in the sense like you work with a lot of youth more than older people? You generally work with a lot of kids. Has it been easier for them to adapt in the sense that they've all got a camera at home, they've all got a microphone?
Yeah, true. Well, so most of my students personally are probably around teenager age or going into adulthood. I think any of the younger students I've had, they've really struggled with paying attention and concentration levels. But the older students, they generally, a lot of them that are taking it seriously, they have got all the equipment at home already and they've kind of already set up for it. And because they're forced to adapt for school as well, I think they're so good at technology, it's kind of become a bit natural for them. It's generally the older ones, like adults, that are kind of like, what is going on, or the parents.
I'm doing fine, all right?
Yeah.
Look how I've adapted. I built
You've
this.
Smashed it.
Assuming this all works. Anyway, so in saying that, challenges for them, sure. Challenges for you. I have a question, just roughly when it comes to vocal lessons.
Okay.
Do a lot of your students tend to listen / want to sing the same style of music, or is there this huge genre gap that you have to keep switching between?
Oh, that's a good question. I have so many. I would say generally most of my students fit into contemporary music. Within contemporary music, there's so many different little alleyways that you can go down. So, but they all are so individual. Yeah, they're so individual. Every single student is so different. So it's definitely a massive learning process. When you start teaching, you kind of have to build your song library so that you can hear a student and you can kind of understand what they're going for, as opposed to just going, well, these are the songs that I know, so this is what everyone has to sing. So you kind of, you definitely really have to adapt.
It's very different from when I was younger and I was learning guitar and vocals at the same time, and it was like, here is your song sheets for the week, and you have to play this.
Yeah, that's what it was like when I was younger too. This was like, this is what I give you, and this is what you do. And
it's hard, like as a kid, to get enthused about it when it's not something you might listen to or enjoy.
100%, and that's totally what I'm trying to encourage is to pursue that individuality that you have, as opposed to just being a cookie cutter singer. This is what I say all the time, and I think. For me, when I was younger, I was just kind of, everything I did was the same as everyone next to me. Everyone sang the same songs at comps. I remember I went to a competition for country singing, and every single kid saying, "I'm not pretty enough." Every single one. And I was like, can we get some variety in here? So yeah, definitely got to mix it up a bit.
I mean, it's a very heartfelt song though. Like,
it is. It's beautiful. But you don't need to hear it 10 times in a row.
See, this is a really hot take from me, but this is me right now with Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh yeah.
Because it's such a huge meme at the moment. And don't get me wrong, I love the song and I love the band, but I hear it 6 times a day at this point.
I had a student come up to me, not come up to me, in a Zoom lesson the other week and say, "I've got this new song. You're going to love it. It's just come out. It's great. It's huge on TikTok and you're going to love it." And then proceeds to play Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. And I was like, yeah, not as new as you think it is.
I suppose, does TikTok have an influence?
Oh my gosh, massive influence.
See, I think I dodged that bullet, not working with teenagers.
But they only know 15 seconds of every song they sing. They come in knowing, I know this part, and then the rest of it they have no clue.
Nailed it. All right, next one.
Next 15 seconds. Huge influence though.
I think the genre question came about because I noticed through social media and especially through Instagram, you do a lot of polls and things like that, and try and get the students to get to know each other and the teachers and things like that, which is great. But I also noticed that I had my taste in music, which followed closely after Sean's, and then you had all these students that were listening to new popular music. And I just went, okay.
Oh, a bit different.
Have I made your life difficult?
No, absolutely not. You actually, it's refreshing having someone like you come in and having completely different stuff to work with. It's really nice. And you get some students come in sometimes that have a completely left field stuff that I've never heard before, and you go, all right, cool, I'm going to educate myself here. No, it's good.
Secondly, big topic, your actual music. So you've got Zara Jarvis music,
I do.
which I feel like you've taken a step back from to do everything else at the moment, which is fair. You've got a lot on your plate. Have you still been producing content? Are you still going to be using it moving forward a bit? Or?
Yes, I will be. I think it's important as a teacher to be at least somewhat current in the industry, because if you're current in the industry and then 20 years go by and you're still teaching what was relevant 20 years ago.
Yeah, of course.
So I think for me, it's important to somewhat still have my foot in that door. But it's hard. I mean, I've got so much on my plate. I think Bachelor of Music at the moment, which is what I'm studying, is keeping me into that. And it's also forcing me to produce my own content, and produce my own music. And
I think the best thing about that is because of the industry we work in, it is something that is constantly changing, but constantly changing a lot faster than a lot of other industries. You really have to be on top of your game as far as knowledge goes. So, I feel like you kind of have to keep putting yourself out there.
Definitely. I wish I did more. I wish I did more for myself sometimes, but it's just, I don't know. My focus is definitely on teaching, and so I think over summer when uni drops off a bit, I'm going to have a bit more time to pursue that.
You might be able to hire a PA, just get them to doing all the running around for you.
I've just gotten one, actually. I've just gotten some admin staff, so that's helping me a lot.
Oh yes, so you now have someone doing the social media side of things.
Bit of everything. I've got a young girl, Maddie, who I've just employed. Who, she's kind of just doing a bit of everything in the office and on social media, which has been really helpful. And then I've got the 2 teachers as well. So yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, let's get into the main topic then. Soundcheck Studios. Give us a spiel. What's it about? What is it?
Ooh, I think. For me, it's just something that I was trying to fill this hole in Ballarat that I've noticed since growing up. When I was about 16 years old, I flew to Sydney quite a bit and did some artist development there with some producers and worked with some really awesome people in the industry. And I got this whole new perspective of what contemporary music was. And then I came back home and I went into my classical singing lessons and did my Stedfords again. And I was like, wow, why does this not exist here? So I've just had this perspective of something that I wanted to, create in Ballarat and fill this gap. And so it's definitely more of like I said before, individuality. It's a lot more contemporary. It's a bit more of a focus on social media as well, as opposed to just singing at comps. I mean, social media, it's so easy to get picked up these days.
Exactly.
You don't need to audition anymore.
As much as I hate the word influencer, it's a thing.
It's a thing. And you can post a video and go viral. TikTok's so easy to do it on.
Yeah.
I know, right? And you can go viral and then you get picked up by someone. It's so much easier to build your portfolio online as opposed to sending it to, what do people used to do?
It is a double-edged sword though in that sense too.
Definitely,
because once you have that persona online, it's not hard to go back and look. If you're young, it's fine because you don't really have anything to hide.
Right.
But, assuming you've stuffed up at some stage in your life, it's going to be there. Everyone,
100%. And that's why you've got to be, that's why I also teach mindfulness in social media with my students. I say, just remember what you're putting out there. Be proud of it. You don't need to share all the personal details. Treat it like a business almost.
Yeah, exactly. So the concept obviously came from a gap in the market, as you said, and a personal experience of wanting something that you didn't get, basically, throughout your learning experience. I love that because there's not a huge generation gap between us, but there's enough of a gap that, when I finished my degree, I was told to come back to Ballarat because I studied in Geelong, come back to Ballarat, find a gap in the market and write a business plan. And I wrote a business plan for a rehearsal studios, basically, because that was something we didn't have. We had a recording studio and one out of town, and that was about it. And I was like, well, rehearsal rooms we don't have, so that, an extension. And that was, 4 or 5 years ago, I suppose now. So it's so awesome to realise that someone younger than me has also grown up, same place, and gone, hey, we still need this.
We still need stuff. And you still need to make it happen. And look, you're filling a gap in the market now with these videos.
Yes. So thank you, business teacher, for drilling that in my head. But yeah, no, it's a good feeling because not only giving the musos in Ballarat something to utilise and to grow with, but you're also building a community in itself.
Yes.
In the sense that, as I said to you when I first started doing lessons with you, you've got a lot of people of the similar age group focusing on this. You're not going too deep into the people that have been experiencing it for years, and you're not going too young either. You're grabbing people in those sort of that 20 range.
Yep.
And I think that's fantastic. That's a great way to build a new platform and to grow with it.
Yeah, I'm definitely so all for the community and the collaboration kind of thing. I mean, I think people can have two perspectives. Some people are super competitive and some people want to collaborate. And I think that's the way to go. Yeah. I think that's what 2020 is, right? It's all about lifting each other up and being no one can do it on their own anymore. You need a team around you. You need people that can help you out and collaborate with and help inspire you, keep you motivated. So that's something I'm really pushing at my school, is that I don't want it to be competitive. I don't want it to be comparative. I want everyone to encourage each other and everyone to also feel confident within themselves. Yeah.
And I think what you were saying about motivating each other is a huge factor when it comes to the music scene, because it doesn't matter whether you're a singer, you're a guitarist, you work in marketing. It's the hardest part is being motivated.
Yes.
And getting off your butt and doing it. So I think having that encouragement, running in a circle where each person sort of picks the next person up, is a fantastic idea. Now, obviously it's not just you, so you've got a bit of a team.
Yes.
What are your other teachers? What are they doing?
Oh, I've got some awesome people on board. So I've already spoken about Maddie. She's doing admin and stuff, like I said. She's actually an incredible singer as well. So she is 17 and she was Eponine in Les Mis with Lyric Theatre recently.
Yeah, okay.
I know, huge role. And she smashed that show. So she's on board. So even in the admin stuff, we've got people that understand what's going on. We've got Chloe, who's a singer. She's been in countless theatre productions in Ballarat. She's really amazing. And then Sean, you know both of them, don't you?
I don't know Chloe.
You don't know Chloe,
no.
but you know Sean.
I recognise
really
her,
well.
but I can't remember where from. But
yes.
Sean, yes, all too well.
He's a legend.
Good friend, meme expert, constantly sends me disgusting gifs on the internet.
Oh, I need to get in on this circle. Where are my memes?
He loves it, but fantastic guy and very, very talented guitarist.
Yes, I know, and he's very versatile in a lot of different things. He has knowledge of so many different things.
I will be speaking to him at some point on here, but
I look forward to it.
He just actually put up 2 demos for his band, and they're both completely different.
Oh, I saw this on Instagram.
Yeah. One feels very like 70s acoustic, and the other one I'd say is 90s grunge. Like it's very different.
I love that.
There's your versatile right there.
100%. And even when I spoke to him initially, when we were talking about the job, he had so many different kind of genres and avenues that he's gone down, instruments even. He's got a really good broad knowledge, which I think is important, because I really encourage my students to understand that, especially being a singer, you're not the most important person on the stage. And so the fact that Sean has that understanding of how all the parts fit together, it's so cool.
And especially, it's something that everyone needs to know when in a band, is that you can't have one person that does all the writing. It's never a good idea.
Collaboration, this is what we're talking about, right?
Now, enough of Sean. I will talk to him a separate time. He can get his own section in the spotlight. How far along is the studio?
It's pretty much ready to go. And I'm really excited for you to see it. It's really cool. We've got like a stage room so that kids can actually get up and perform on stage with lighting, cordless mics. We've got a recording studio in there so that in their lessons they can actually start utilizing that equipment and get it, like I said, a more broad perspective of not just technical singing, but what else goes into being a singer. Right? You can't just be a karaoke singer. You've got to have more skills than that now. So it's just getting my students comfortable with all that stuff so that when they do go in the industry, it's like, it's not new for them. They're I'm a pro.
Yeah. I remember the first big thing for me was trying to figure out the differences between microphones.
Right.
As someone who's played guitar for years, I was like, I can tell which guitar I want, but I had no idea what to buy, and I needed a microphone.
And,
no clue.
Yeah, 100%.
And there's no easy book on that. There's no manual that says, this is what's best for you. This is what's best for the style you're doing. It's all about referring a friend, I think.
Yeah, and trying them and saying, well, how does this sound compared to how does this sound? What would they be most appropriate for? And actually getting that practical experience as opposed to just, reading it online.
Yeah. Anyone can read a review. It doesn't mean it's going to connect with you.
Try it.
Mm-hmm. All right. After all that, obviously the big question that I'll be asking everyone is, how has this entire period of the last sort of 6 months affected you, both creatively, financially,
All of the above. Well, I think I generally try and put a positive spin on everything. So for me personally, I think it's actually been pretty good. I was living in Queensland at the start of this year, and COVID happened, and so I came back, and it was the worst thing of my life. I thought my world was crumbling down. And then I came back, and I started this studio, which is something I was always going to do. It just kind of happened a bit sooner than I planned. And I couldn't be more grateful that that's the case. I mean, it's been hard a lot of the time, but I have a studio out of COVID, which is pretty awesome.
I mean, yeah.
I'm at uni. I wouldn't have started uni this year if not for COVID. I think there's been a lot of silver linings for me. So, and even just like I said before, the fact that so many people have been interested in lessons, and it's taken off more than I could have expected.
I wasn't sure whether people being stuck at home would help sell lessons or not, but I think it makes sense.
I know, and lots of adults too that are just like, I just want to do this and I can do it in my home.
Well, I mean, it does make sense. Like the first thing most people would consider when they're stuck at home is which hobby are they going to develop for the next, however long they're stuck.
What are these skills I'm going to learn?
So it makes sense. I started playing guitar more and singing more, so I understand it. Yeah,
100%. It's been really cool to see how much people, some people have really grasped the opportunity and gone with it. I know it's been hard for a lot of people. I'm not trying to discredit that. It's been really hard, but I think there's been a lot of good things.
We are very grateful for where we are in the world and how things have played out compared to others. So,
and we're on the uphill now, which is good.
Yes,
it's a good
we're
feeling.
on the uphill. And in saying that, do you think there'll be a lot that you'll be taking from this experience moving forward?
100%. So I count my blessings way more than I ever used to. I'm so much more grateful, I think. And even, especially even the technological skills I've gotten out of this period. I've learnt so much about recording. I mean, I've been forced to do all my uni subjects and assessments in a recording version because we don't have the live option. I've been used to live performances my whole life. I've never really had a lot of experience in recording, and that's all I've done this year. It's just recording.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Because that can be very dry if you're not,
Yeah.
like if you're just doing it on normal time.
I know. So it's kind of forced me to get a bit better at computers and Zoom and all of that kind of stuff. So I think, lots of skills I've gained from it.
Yeah, going back 6 months ago, I would have found a job like in an IT store because I'd be killing it right now.
100%.
All right, well, I think that'll about wrap it up.
Perfect.
Is there anything else you wanted to say to everyone?
No, thanks for having me.
No,
and I can't wait to see this take off. I can't wait to see all your other guests.
Yes, I'm going to try and keep a very diverse range.
Yes.
I think try and cover as many aspects as I can.
Cool.
Whilst keeping it fun.
Yeah, always.
I don't want it too dry.
I can't imagine you ever having anything that's not fun. So.
Well, that's true. I mean, I've already had a few people ask to open the bar during some of these. So I
that's
think
not a bad idea.
Yeah,
then I got a water here.
Yeah.
Ripped off.
I've got coffee. I did offer.
True.
Just Irish it up next time. All right. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
It's been great.
Cool.
Cheers.
Thanks.